the living, I'll scare them real good. Hell, I possess myself if I gotta. Oh, I got demons running all through me. Hey, but if you act now, I'll give you free beer. Hell, I'll get fucked up. Maybe even get fucked.
So before we dive deep into Beetlejuice, I was going to ask you, have you ever had any like paranormal experiences, like experiences with ghosts or anything like that?
I think it was when I was younger. I felt like I was more like open to it, I guess, in a way. And they always say when you're younger, it's like you're more suggested or whatever.
They say children are more perceptive to like that, like alternate dimension.
Yeah, and I mean, I still believe in all that. But I remember when my parents and I were all, and my brother were looking at houses, and I can't even remember where it was. I was probably about 13, and we went to a house, and we ended up going down in this basement, and I had this really weird, eerie vibe, and it was like this all concrete kind of like weird poles, like an old house. And I was like, did something bad happen here? And my mom asked the real estate and the lady's like, well, actually, yeah, like the older guy that lived here died here, like he caught fire and died, I guess, or something. I was like, that's crazy, because I totally could sense it. I mean, it was down in the basement, it was creepy anyways, but I mean, it was finished. But yeah, I definitely could sense that. And then I always had like kind of some premonitions that would happen sometimes, so that I always feel like, I don't know if those are ghosts or what, but sometimes I get that like feeling like something's gonna happen, I should pay attention.
Yeah, kind of like the harbinger effect or something.
Yeah. And then we had a house in Silverton that was off of Eureka, and it was a big old house. And I heard that the owner had passed away. I think he either killed himself outside or inside. But it was creepy upstairs because it was this huge area, and it was like this open area, and the closets connected. Oh, I swear we'd hear footsteps like either downstairs or upstairs. You'd always sense there was somebody in like that closet area where like it could.
Well, it's so funny you mentioned that, because we lived in a house on Eureka.
That's weird.
For those of you who don't know, Eureka's country road in Silverton, Oregon.
Yeah.
But I remember, that was like when I had one of the first like creepy, ghost experiences. I remember like waking up like around dawn, I believe it was. And I swear to God, I mean, it might have just been like sleep paralysis, because apparently when you have sleep paralysis, that's when you like tend to see things that were in your dreams and you haven't really left this like dream world yet. But I remember waking up and looking at my windowsill, and like I couldn't move at all. That's crazy. I swear to God, the toys were like walking.
That's crazy.
I had like some Disney toys. I had like, Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, and like they were just like walking along the windowsill, and I was trying to scream.
That's scary. Are you sure you didn't watch Toy Story?
No, this is actually pre-Toy Story.
That's weird though, to be like paralyzed like that. That's really bizarre, huh?
But aside from that, like I had like I consider it legit, because I mean, I know my own eyeballs, so I know what I saw. But I was hanging out with an old friend of mine about 5 years ago, like, and he lived like in this like mobile home park. And they say like ghosts are generally most active at night.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was pretty late, not like super late. It was maybe like 11:30, midnight, somewhere around there. We had smoked a little bit of weed earlier, but mine had worn off by then. And like he was kind of dozing off on the couch, and like they had talked about how they thought that their place was haunted to begin with, but they said it'd been years since they'd even seen anything. So like I'm just sitting there, like staring at the TV, like kind of just like, looking at my phone or whatever. And then all of a sudden, like I catch, like in the corner of my eye, like this like white figure. And then I look over and I see this floating, like it looked like I want to say it was a man.
That's crazy.
Like just all white with like an old fashioned like bowl cut, like monk haircut.
Weird.
Like just floating there. Yeah. And I was just like in shock, and it was there for like 5 seconds, if not less, and then it just like
that is. Do you remember being cold or anything? You probably don't have any other memories.
That was the thing, yeah. Like I don't remember feeling cold or anything.
Weird. That's so weird.
And the thing is too, like I wasn't necessarily scared. I was more just shocked, like just in complete shock at like seeing something like that in person.
So it takes you,
Yeah, and then
that's
like
crazy.
It felt almost like I don't know, it was a very warming, angelic presence too, so I wasn't like, I was like, at first like, crap, I gotta go to the bathroom, and now I'm afraid to go like down the hallway, so I just like kind of got over it, and just like, continued doing my thing.
I guess I saw something. I don't know, that kind of stuff is so cool. I definitely believe in that and other stuff, and that's why I love scary movies. Like I just like visiting the old stuff.
Especially Beetlejuice, because Beetlejuice is kind of like I want to say it's almost like a psychedelic supernatural horror.
It's totally true. Exactly.
And comedy too. I think that's like what made it so big.
Could you imagine?
Sense of comedy,
Could you imagine if there was no comedy? Like it would just be like, this is stupid and cheesy. Like it'd just be a B-rated film, which I guess he was kind of going.
Well, it's funny too, because like apparently like due to his budget, he had to use a lot of like B-rated
that's what I
tricks and like effects and stuff. But it kind of added to the charm of the movie,
exactly. And that's the thing. Like, it's another timeless like classic in a way, just because like even still today in 2020 you can watch it and yeah, it's cheesy, it's silly, but it's so fun.
It's,
like,
super fun and funny.
It's like it carries the exact same almost weight in some ways. I mean, you notice different things, but the rating system is something we can talk about later, but it's just like it's funny like that, all that kind of stuff. But
it's crazy because Michael Keaton, like, he was super hesitant to do the film at first. Like, he had to be convinced, very much like a lot of other people in the movie. Like, I'm not sure if Winona Ryder had to be convinced, but I know Jeffrey Jones, who played the dad, and Catherine O'Hara, who played the mom, like, they both, like, a lot of those people said, no. At least once.
Probably on the script, they're probably like, what the fuck is this? Like, who the fuck is Beetlejuice?
That's the thing, a lot of them thought it was a weird script, and they weren't sure how they felt about it. But then, after Michael Keaton watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure, that's like what made him change his mind. He was like, oh man,
that's good. Well, and I think that's the thing, it's like that and Beetlejuice set Tim Burton up for an amazing like directorial like role, so I think that kind of helped kind of give him more credit in a way. I
know, it was definitely a good like sophomore film for him, and then like for Michael Keaton himself, because that like made him go on to like, Batman. Tim Burton's Beetlejuice and then Batman Returns. Which is
it's funny. I don't remember the difference. Was it like a year or two after Batman came out? The first one was it 99 it came out? Or 1989?
89, I think it was,
But I think that's funny. I mean, you just would, Michael Keaton's just so unrecognizable. I mean, the makeup.
I know, you can't even tell it's him.
You can't recognize him, and like his mannerisms compared to like a more serious Batman role. He's absurd, dorky, lewd guy.
Or even his role like in Jackie Brown as one of the detectives too.
Very more serious. So it's very interesting. It was very much like an opening for a lot of people. And then,
well, it's cool too that Tim Burton gave them like a lot of freedom to like with their lines, because apparently Michael Keaton ad-libbed 90% of his lines.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
That is really cool. Kind of gave him that like creative freedom. Like, here's your character and go with it. But
so did you see this movie as a kid, or did you see it a lot later in life?
Definitely a lot later, because I remember growing up and I heard about like Nightmare Before Christmas and Tim Burton, but I wasn't really allowed to watch them, and I'd never really watched the Batman movies growing up that Tim Burton had done. So I was like, I mean, I think there was pieces of it. I probably caught pieces of it on TV and stuff around Halloween time, but I never like sat down and watched it fully. Probably since like the last maybe 4 or 5 years I watched it.
I know, when we watched it like a week ago, that was my first time watching it from beginning to end.
Yeah, because it's like you always, you're either drinking or you're high or something.
Yeah, I mean the last time I tried to watch it, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago with some people, and I was invested, I was in the zone with those blankets, but everyone else kind of ditched me, so I was like, and I don't really feel like watching this by myself. It's one of those movies for me where like I have to watch it with other people because I've seen it so many times.
Right, no, exactly, and it's fun. And I think it's funny that I think we had talked about this before, but like the fact that like throughout the movie Michael Keaton's only in it like 14 and a half minutes or 15 minutes in the whole
he's
thing.
in it for a total of 14 and a half minutes, and he does not appear on screen until like an hour and 8 minutes in.
When you told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, that blew my mind watching that again, like
because he's the title character.
Yeah, exactly, you would think.
And apparently like his name is Beetlejuice in the film, but they wanted to go with the title Beetlejuice because they just thought it was a lot more comical to use.
There was something weird about how like it was actually titled, it was like separated Beetlejuice, and then like on all the posters it's like together, so it's just like little things that have changed over time, but the makeup alone, that was amazing. I think they won an Oscar for that.
Oh, did they? I could see that. I thought it was really good makeup and like special effects for like the budget.
It was well done. I mean, you like I said, you have people doing Beetlejuice costumes still today. Like that's how you can go to freaking Spirit and find his costumes. It's crazy how much that's carried through the years. But,
I mean that guy in the intro, he had a pretty good Beetlejuice costume, but I think he's passed out from all those PBRs.
I think he was a real thing.
Yeah, he might have been the real thing. Maybe he went back to the other world.
So funny.
But one of the cool things about this movie too, a lot of people don't know that Danny Elfman is generally associated with Tim Burton. So Danny Elfman, who does the music for this movie, like he was actually in a band, pre-Beetlejuice, pre-Pee-wee's Big Adventure, in a band called Oingo Boingo, and they did the famous song Weird Science for the movie Weird Science. Or that's like one of the Oingo Boingo songs that a lot of people might know.
It's like the only one, probably.
But yeah. Yeah, you know, I tried to listen to some of their music, and I'm like, this is kind of annoying.
It's like, thank God Danny Elfman came out of that.
I know, yeah, but anyways, so Tim Burton was just in a nightclub one night in LA and like saw this guy performing, and he was like, man, I really like this guy's music. And then he was like, hey, do you want to help me do some music for this film I'm working on? And that film happened to be Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
That is amazing. That is literally amazing. He's carried him through. I mean, they both carried each other through for all these years.
Well, it's just crazy too, because if you hear some of Oingo Boingo's music, it's just like, how the fuck is this Danny Elfman? It's so opposite of like the music that he composes for the film.
I need to go back and revisit that, because that blows my mind.
But yeah, I remember my first experience with this film was, you know, of course, on a good old classic VHS tape.
Yes.
Because my parents recorded it from, I think it was like, you know, Showtime or Cinemax back in like the early mid-90s. But the tape cut off, so it cut off at the part where they meet Juno, their caseworker.
Oh shit, yeah.
And it's like the part where like her watch beeps and she's like, I gotta go. And then I'm like, that's like when it starts to get good, the movie too. And then like that's where it would cut off. So like it was, oh god, I think I was like in high school by the time I finally, you know, saw the entire movie in its entirety.
Kind of piece it together exactly, like it shows more of the story, I guess. But it's true, you always have those like iconic scenes and everything like that pop in your mind.
One of my favorite scenes from the movie is the part where Adam and Barbara first go to the other world, you know, and they're like, "What's that?" And that old guy's like, "That's the lost souls room. That's dead for the dead." It's like, hey, dude, you haven't had a day off in 50 years.
Let me go chill out for a little bit. So, I mean, I think my most iconic scenes, obviously, like the sandworms and like seeing like.
Oh yeah, those sandworms are creepy.
Like that is so creepy, and like that really like, wow, this is Tim Burton's mind right here. And
and they did those scenes like in post production too. I guess they did those last.
That's crazy. And I heard something too about the Beetlejuice that actually came out as a snake. Because at first I didn't know it was Michael Keaton, because they had done that pre-production, and so they had to go and re-engineer it to make more like Michael Keaton. But I mean, it's just so fun. It's just so amazing. It just kind of goes back with the makeup too. But yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a horror movie of its own.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's creepy. Like it really is disturbing. You like look at how the people died and like. What Miss Argentina.
Right. Oh yeah, the scene in the waiting room. Yeah. Then,
like, the waiting room. It's like.
And like if you killed yourself, because I think the guy, that fat fuck Otho in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Said something like, "You become a civil servant." Down.
No, it's true, but it's a lot of dark. I mean, it's dark humor, really. I mean, dark undertones, and it's funny because it's rated PG. That's what I was gonna say. It's rated PG.
Oh, I remember reading a trivia fact about that. It's like one of those few like PG movies during the PG-13 era where like they said the F word in it. Like I remember that Tom Hanks movie Big. That was another one where there was like the one part where he says the F word.
That's crazy to think. I mean it's just it's wild to think that. Well, another piece of fact is I read that it was and I think I saw on your thing about Netflix. It was one of the first Netflix.
Yeah, this was actually the first DVD that was sent out through Netflix.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah, and anyone that knows me, I have a raging hard on for tangible physical media. I love physical media.
No, that's true. And I used to get those all the time on Netflix, and I didn't know that. But I mean, because to me, Netflix. I didn't probably start using Netflix till it was like 2004, 2005, probably. But I got the disc.
Wait, 2004, 2005? Really?
Yeah, because that would have been...
Did it start then?
No, maybe not, because, well, was it 2004? Maybe not out of high school. Maybe it was more college, because I remember getting them in college, so 2006 at least. I remember getting like Resident Evil and stuff and like watching them all and stuff like that. I just loved putting my stuff in the queue. It was so
I know, yeah. See, that's when Netflix didn't suck.
Yeah.
Because, they had the option. They used to have that option where you could either do like streaming and DVDs or DVDs.
It's so wild that it's not.
And so if they still had that option where you can just do like Blu-rays or DVDs or whatever, I would probably actually still be subscribed to them.
I haven't checked into it. I thought I heard they do it, but I mean, they still charge you more for it. But I mean, it sucks because you put something on your queue, and then when you get it, you're like, "Oh, do I really want to watch this?" But I mean, then you get fun things like this that you haven't seen maybe in a while.
Right, yeah, and that was the thing. Like when you had the DVD and like the Blu-ray options, like there was always so much more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Movies available, like better titles in my opinion. Like I remember another Tim Burton film that I watched through the Netflix DVD mailing system was Ed Wood.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that one still. I need to watch that. Mine was Big Fish. I remember watching Big Fish.
Yeah, Big Fish is another classic of a... Oh, what's funny about this movie is, Alec Baldwin, who, by the way, is very unrecognizable in this movie.
To
a degree.
I can't see it. I really can't. Yeah. Like, it's crazy.
But he dislikes the film.
Yeah.
and was not satisfied with his acting in it. But you know what? I think that's because he looks back and he's like, ah, shit, this is before I looked like a bloated alcoholic.
Dude, and didn't you say he was like 30 in that role?
Yeah, he was only 30.
Like, wow, that's crazy. And he looked so good. Almost like I said, unrecognizable. Like you said, he wasn't bloated.
Yeah.
He was so
now the guy looks like a fucking Coors Light. Like the 24-ounce can.
Yeah, it's just like, it's crazy to think, like, I don't know. And it's crazy that he's so down on himself because that role is just amazing. It's fun. It's a great
but Alec Baldwin does seem kind of like a douche.
Well, I can see that. I love Geena Davis too. I mean,
Geena Davis is cool. I like her.
She just seems like a cool. She seemed like she had really fun with the role. I could see her enjoying it.
Yeah, she seems very chill too.
Yeah, I could definitely. And then of course, like I love my favorite character is probably Lydia and Winona Ryder. I mean, that was
Winona Ryder.
She's just great. It's a little gothic emo weird
speaking
creeper.
of her character, they actually originally intended on going with a way darker ending. They were actually going to have it where I guess eventually she does kill herself, and then it shows her in the afterlife with Barbara and Adam.
Oh, that would be crazy.
But they thought, they're like, wait a minute, this is gonna make teenagers and people all across the world like want to kill themselves. Be like, oh, I guess death is a happy thing.
She was so angsty, and she wanted to at one point, but she could be.
I don't blame her for being depressed. I mean, I know if I grew up super rich and had a giant house, I would have been miserable.
Yeah, her parents were so like their relationship.
Her parents were fucking weird.
Oh my god,
though.
her mom was so superficial and into this weird art, which it's funny.
I mean, I think I was telling you the last time I watched that movie by myself, stoned. Like I thought the mom looked like Satan or like a fucking demon or something.
So weird, her costumes and stuff. And then her dad finds the little study. He's like, leave this alone. This is my area.
Which I'm with the dad. He's like, leave this room alone. This is my bucket room.
This is my area that I want to get away from you at.
Yeah, people are probably thinking, wow, Brian, you talk a lot about rule.
Well,
hey, I like to feel happy.
But I'm saying it's kind of, I mean, it's known for, a stoner movie in a way, really, because of the visuals and stuff.
I'm surprised that's not a weed strain like Beetlejuice sativa.
Oh, I bet you could find.
Actually, you know what? Beetlejuice would make a good edible if they had edible shaped Beetlejuice.
I could totally.
And then they got Lydia. Lydia would be indica strain. The dad, actually no, Beetlejuice would be more of a hybrid, I think.
Yeah,
and the dad would be a sativa because he's so anxious.
I don't know. I still swear Beetlejuice is like cocaine or something.
Actually, Beetlejuice is more of speed or acid.
Crazy.
I love that scene though when they finally meet Beetlejuice on his model in the graveyard.
That is so cool. Yeah.
Especially when he's like, "Hey, look, we even shot the same story."
Yes, exactly. No, it's fun. I love those little miniatures. That was a really cool idea to have. You don't really see that a lot.
I know, that is really cool. And I guess they made a subtle reference to The Shining too in the beginning when it shows the car driving or something.
Okay, that's so funny. Oh wow, that's cool. And then the thing is too, I think I noticed with this round is how creepy he is. He's such a little lewd guy. You kind of already knew that, but he's like,
he definitely seems overly libidinous. He wants to fuck Barbara, and then he's trying to fuck Lydia.
And he goes to
I'm surprised he wasn't just trying to fuck maybe Adam or the dad or something.
He goes to the prostitute in the hotel with the little devil lady.
Oh yeah, Dante's Inferno.
Yes, I love that little scene. Just what he says is just so funny. But then
because originally Tim Burton when they did that scene, he did not like it, and he was like, maybe I should scrap this scene, the famous, no! I personally, this is just me, I don't like that song. Yeah. So I'm with Tim Burton, I wouldn't have liked it either, but when they did the test screening, it was a big hit, and so now it's one of the most iconic scenes in that movie too.
I see both sides for sure. It is really pretty cheesy.
It is creepy, so I'll give them that. They give the shock element to it.
Exactly. It kind of shows what the ghosts can do, and they want him out of their freaking house, but it is huge.
It's just funny because originally they were going to go with this old band called the Ink Spots. Oh. But then I believe it was Jeffrey Jones and Catherine O'Hara's recommendation to switch the song, because I could see why. I love the Ink Spots, but the Ink Spots is a little bit more down tempo. Yeah,
kind of lighten the lead up a little bit. It gives them an iconic song really.
So some of the other people that were considered for the role of Beetlejuice were, going back to when we reviewed Hook, Dustin Hoffman was one of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
I could not see that. Absolutely not.
And Christopher Lloyd. Jim Carrey.
See, I could see him with Jim Carrey.
Tim Curry. Jack Nicholson was also.
Oh,
I could see Jack Nicholson. I think Jack Nicholson would have been the good second choice. Yeah, you think
about the Joker role and stuff. I could see him carrying that, but I don't know. That's just so weird to me. I couldn't imagine anybody else really.
I know, yeah. And then with Lydia, some of the choices were Juliette Lewis was one. I think she was the second choice, which I could see her.
She looks a lot like Geena Davis, which is funny. Yeah. In a way, that is kind of weird. Yeah. I mean, I really do like Winona, and she carries like with him Tim Burton for a while as an actress. Like she gets a lot of roles.
But some of the other choices for Lydia were also Molly Ringwald, which I'm glad they did not go with her.
See, no,
I could see why her career went down the shitter, because I just thought she was kind of like a one-dimensional actress.
I couldn't do that.
Like just always like, this is me. I'm the girl with the face.
With red hair.
But one of the other options was Diane Lane, swing, swing, and so that would have been pretty great, because I mean,
that's so funny.
Yeah, she might be like the hottest like lady in her 50s.
The MILF. I'm teasing. I still feel like she'd be too old, but I mean, I guess a lot of the actors.
Or no, well, back in the 80s, back in '88, she was like 24.
See, that would have been fine then. Yeah. Gosh, that's so fun.
Oh, one final thing before we close out. So apparently, like he goes by the name Beetlejuice. I guess Beetlejuice is like a constellation, like a star constellation.
That's right.
So that's where they got the name from.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's so weird.
I know. Yeah, it's pretty random. It's pretty cool though. I like that.
Yeah, it is cool. It kind of brings it back kind of earthy and outworldly and stuff. But yeah, if you haven't seen Beetlejuice, you're dumb.
If you haven't seen Beetlejuice, you ain't living.
You ain't living, and you're not a friend of ours. That's so funny. All right.
But anyways, happy Halloween, and
Woo!
Per usual, if you like what you see, for the love of God, just hit the like button, subscribe.
Yeah, and share.
And remember, 6 feet apart. Eat your Pop-Tarts.
Oh
6 feet apart.
COVID.
Eat your Pop-Tarts. I think my favorite Pop-Tarts are strawberry. What about you?
I like the brown cinnamon sugar ones right now.
Ooh, good
Those
choice.
are the microwave are my favorite.
Now, are you the type of person that actually puts your Pop-Tarts in the toaster, or do you just eat them? No, you just eat them. I'm 50-50. I can go either way.
I like putting it warming in the microwave for a little bit, just a bit.
The microwave?
I don't know. It sounds gross, but it's really good with the brown sugar ones.
All right, anyways, if you like psychedelic, supernatural, comedy, horror, Beetlejuice is the movie for you. Yeah. Until next time.
All right.
But anyways, happy Halloween, and per usual, if you like what you see, for the love of God, just hit the like button, subscribe.
Yeah, and share.
And remember, 6 feet apart. Eat your Pop-Tarts. 6 feet apart.
COVID.
Eat your Pop-Tarts. I think my favorite Pop-Tarts are strawberry. What about you?
I like the brown cinnamon sugar ones right now.
Ooh, good
Those
choice.
are the microwave are my favorite.
Now, are you the type of person that actually puts your Pop-Tarts in the toaster, or do you just eat them? No, you just eat them. I'm 50-50. I can go either way.
I like putting it warming in the microwave for a little bit, just a bit.
The microwave?
I don't know. It sounds gross, but it's really good with the brown sugar ones.
All right, anyways, if you like psychedelic, supernatural, comedy, horror, Beetlejuice is the movie for you. Yeah. Until next time.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be such a fun one.